Welcome back everybody, patch 1107 is here and this is your complete guide of what to do, as well as some handy tips that'll help you do things in the best order and just make the most of it all. So to start off, the obvious thing, make a beeline for the new zone, the Siren Isle. To do that, pick up the quest, which is located here in Donegal, then head over to the Goblin Zeppelin that is moored around the corner. With that, you'll get to the Isle and we can get stuck into the video. And there's also today's sponsor. Take a look at the screen. This is what happens whenever you hit an enemy in War Thunder. It is awesome. And obviously, with that, War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. It's available now for free, PC, console, and even mobile devices. Every vehicle is simulated and modeled to the very last detail, and not just because it's neat, though it absolutely is, it's because it's there in gameplay, right? You are fighting vehicles, not health bars. And that's something so many games I play just let me down on, right? They've got over 2,500 vehicles, and you're going from biplanes, right? The Mark I tank of World War I, all the way up to your F-15, your Abrams, and beyond. I love it. It tickles me. I'm a massive history nut, be that watching Band of Brothers as a kid, watching all of the Laserpig videos in the universe as an adult, and that's why War Thunder is so damn impressive to me. It's all those little things, the sounds, the VFX, the X-ray damage, where you just actually see how you have hit the enemy tank. Have you hit the crew? Which bit have you hit? That is so cool. And it all comes together to create an immersive, authentic military history sort of combat vehicle experience. And unlike others, it is approachable as well, because you can go for the arcade mode, simulator mode, or realistic. And Gaijin have put massive effort into performance, so this is a game that can run on low-end systems as well, and you can play on like anything, like PlayStation, Xbox, PC, iOS, Android. I mean, hell, I even remember the first time one of the guys in my team showed me War Thunder on VR. Oh, that was a mind blow. So here's the deal. You can join up for free today at my link, and on PC and console, if you're new or you just haven't played in 6 months, you'll get a massive bonus pack of 100,000 silver lines, 7 days premium, an Eagle of Valor decorator, premium vehicles, and a 50% XP and silver booster. Once you land on the Siren Isle, your first goal is to get your new ring, Circlet, and then to start upgrading it and filling out its gem slots. Now, you'll run through a quick main quest where you find a crystal tablet that will take you to an ancient Vrykul tomb. There are no side quests or objectives here, so just follow that quest to its end. Though I would say that if you're a story nut, if you're story inclined, do stop to smell the roses, because the tablets actually tell a really cool tale that helps to flesh out the Isle. But of course, if you don't care, just blast straight through the tomb and pick up your new ring. Once you do that, the game will give you a tutorial on how the circlet works. You'll get your first gem, the gems are called Citrines, and you'll learn how to unsocket gems from the circlet as well. And with that done, the Siren Isle will open up to you. That means there is content to do in the form of excavations, weekly quests, many rares, and of course treasures. But let's not worry about any of that right now. There's something far more important that you should do first that will help you get around the Isle. This is a massive time saver that just makes the Isle more fun. You cannot fly yet, but you can get a pretty cool jetpack. What you want to do is pick up all of the quests in the camp for later, then head over to this quest. It's called Starting Peak Precision, and it will unlock for you the Go Pack, which is a much better way of getting around than just on foot. Now, you'll get one as a part of doing the quest, but once that runs out, you can buy more of them for a measly 10 iron from Sally, who is located here, so be sure to stock up. Now, I've got some tips on how to use these properly because it's a little awkward. It gives you two abilities, right? A blast straight up, which then turns into a targeted ground slam while you're falling. Now, this behaves a bit more like a slow fall than a goblin glider, so you'll actually want to spend as little time in the air as possible. That sounds a bit weird, but my point is the real speed boost comes from skipping over terrain instead of running around it. That's the really good thing, and from using the ground slam to just cover as much horizontal distance as you can. So basically, you leap all over the place with it. To get the most of that, try to stay as low as you can and travel as far as you can with each slam instead of just going straight up and then straight back down again. As an example, if you're already at a high place, jump off, but wait until you are lower to use the rocket. That's because if you press it early, you'll basically just spend loads of time waiting for it to fall, because it acts a bit like a slow fall. Thankfully though, if you land on a neutral mob, the damage will not start combat, which is real nice. Now, the real best way to get around in the Isle is just use a goblin glider after you blast up. But of course, Goblin Gliders are on a 3-minute cooldown. Still, being able to blast yourself up and then go straight into a glider is amazing for getting around. And on the topic of gliders, don't forget that you can enchant your cloak to turn into a reusable Goblin Glider if you just train Pandaria Engineering up to 25. And for this isle, that is super handy. Now that we can get around the place handy, let's go and sort out the rest of the isle. Our next big step is going to be upgrading our ring, and the good news is, it really is quite easy to do that. You're going to need a raw singing citrine, and those come from the weekly quests. At launch, there will be one up called Uncovered Mysteries, and it will task you to investigate 3 locations. Of course, using your Go Pack, you'll be able to make short work of that, and with the quest done, your Circlet will be item level 623 out of 639. As the weeks roll on, you'll be able to upgrade it more, and when it's fully upgraded, you'll unlock full flying on the Isle. But of course, while it'll be a higher item level, you don't have any gems for it yet, so let's work out how gems function. Alright, so our next step is to grab the other citrines. Remember, whenever you get the ring, it'll actually come with a red one. That means that we need to fill our yellow and our blue slots. Now, as far as we know, only 4 more citrines will be available during the first week. Blizzard have actually not confirmed all the sources, which I like. Bit of mystery's good. Back to the game though. Thunderlords is a flat damage proc and Stormbringers is a chunk of every secondary stat, and those are both for the yellow slot. Then the other 2 you're able to get are the Seabed Leviathan, which will give you some stamina and damage return, and then Mariners, which will give you a heal proc, and those are both for the blue slot. Now, 3 of these will come from doing major excavations, and the last one, the Seabed one, that comes from the weekly Fill the Bar quest. But don't worry about just doing Fill the Bar right now, because you'll fill that up while you're doing other things. So, our 3 excavations then. Major excavations are events in the Isle that activate whenever people donate enough iron at the command table, and that guarantees they'll basically be up all week long during the start. Each event will spawn a boss in a cave. All you've got to do then is go to the map markers and tag each of the bosses and kill him, and then you'll get your citrines. Repeated clears of those in later weeks will, though, drop for you some lovely crates of bygone riches. Those will have a few hundred iron, I'll talk about iron shortly in this video, and a chance at some catch-up gear. So, with all of that done, you're going to have a eye-level 623 Circlet with all 3 gem slots filled. And then after you do the Fill the Bar quest, you'll get the Seabed Citrine, which you can swap in if you want stamina instead of a healing proc. Okay, your excavations are done, so let's check in with all of the other quests and content. The quickest way to do your big Fill the Bar quest, which generally we call a Rapper Weekly in World of Warcraft, Rapper, not rapper, anyway, it's to clear up the other weekly quests. There's a lot of weeklies, but it's actually for a good reason. You may have seen us or other people call these daily quests on the PTR, and they were active daily on the PTR, seemingly for testing, but the meta achievements call them weeklies, so because of that, we think they're going to be weekly on live servers, and that basically just means less chores, more bang for your buck, so I definitely support that. We've got no idea which ones are going to be up in this first week, but most of them are just simple kill things and loot things quests. Basically, just hit up the blue exclamation marks, do them, job done. These are going to give you 20% progress each. There should be at least 3 of them up, and that'll be a total of 60%. You'll already have at least 30% from killing the 3 different excavation bosses, and that's going to leave you at 90% with that quest. There may be a 4th quest up, which will take you over the line, but if not, don't worry. Rares in the Isle will give you 5%, so kill 2 of those, or just a bunch of smaller mobs, and you'll finish the weekly Rapper quest, and you will get your Seabed Citrine. And once you've done that, you will have unlocked the special assignment. And the good news is, this is where Blizzard have actually tried to cook and make things a little bit more spicy and interesting. Now, if you're purely only concerned about the ring's power and you don't actually care about anything else, you could stop here and you could go and check out some other content. There's the 11.1 prologue questline, and there's also the Kirin Tor questline that's coming to terms with, well, Dalaran going boom, or you can go back and get the ring in your alts. And I've got really good news for alts. There's a skip, and that skip will actually drop you at what I think is step 3 of this guide. Basically, your alt will immediately have the ring, your first citrine, and 1 upgrade. So that makes getting your alts decked out painless. All you've got to do is go to the Isle as normal and and then choose the right option whenever you first meet an earthen NPC called Bargus. And sticking with alts, there's actually some even better news. You do not need to worry about being left behind, so you don't need to rush all of your alts in week 1. There is a catch-up system in place for the ring upgrades, and the even better news is the catch-up system isn't just saying you can fill the bar 5 times in a row and basically go like mad with boredom. No, the way it will work is that rares actually have a chance to drop upgrade items basically if your alt is behind the curve. So that's really good news. But with that said, let's dive into the rest of the Isle, because Blizzard have actually tried to cook up something different. Now that you finished the Rapper quest, you can do the bit where Blizzard have actually tried to cook up something new and different. If you talk to Susie here, you'll be able to enter the Stormy version of the Isle. Now, the Stormy version has got new rares, new treasures, and 2 new weekly quests that are only available within. All of the mobs are replaced with far scarier elite versions, and that means you're going to need to arm yourself. And that's not just me doing some cheesy YouTuber line. Actually, every week you'll get a new quest which will unlock a powerful weapon that you can use to basically help you. Now, the first few of these are a little bit weaker. You'll still need to proceed with plenty of care on a lower geared character, but the weapons eventually do get pretty powerful and you'll unlock some cool stuff. Now, with all this, there is another bar to fill, and the same stuff applies here. There are only 2 weekly quests in this phase, so do those first. The annoying one is Extinction. Really not a fan. You'll need to pick up Sally's flamethrower to burn the eggs, but the good news is you will eventually get access to a battle mech. The battle mech makes that much easier, but I would say at least the patch week rush will help you get this stuff done way quicker than we did in the PTR. The other quest then is just to kill some dudes, way easier. Now, after those things are done, you can fill the bar any way that you want, but usually killing rares will be the smartest. And that's not just because of their percentage. There's a meta achievement for the Isle, and if you complete it, you'll unlock this flying pirate ship mount, which is pretty cool. To get that, you'll need to kill all of the rares, so you may as well start working towards that. Now, the special assignment quest that wraps up all of this will also get you a box of champion gear, so that'll be pretty damn nice for getting your fresh alts up to speed, and once unlocked, you can just move in and out of the storm phase at will by talking to Susie. That's within a week though, so you will need to complete the weekly Rapper quest to start that next week, so honestly, whenever you get in week 1, I'd recommend just doing as much as you can every week, meaning killing all those rares, doing the 2 quests, and making progress towards the big cool new mount, Falmir the Stormcrow. And I say cool because, well, that mount was first data mined a decade ago, and it's finally in the game. Getting it's pretty involved, so expect a video soon. With all that, you now understand loads of the Isle, but there's actually a hell of a lot more. There's a lot of goals and loads of rewards. If you only care about the ring and the gems, you can go and do other things and just come back for the weekly quest next week. But if you want to get to work in that meta achievement, you can knock out all of the non-weekly parts right away. And this is what that entails. You'll need to look for 10 treasure chests. They'll be just like the quest that you did to get the ring upgrade at the start. Then you'll want to kill all the rares that you can in both the normal and stormy versions of the Isle. Once that's done, then you'll need to come back next week to do the other weekly quests. And if you want to start collecting transmogrification gear or veteran gear for your alts, then you're going to need Flame Blessed Iron. By now, you should have at least a few thousand from all of the weeklies that you've done. Now, you need just over 2,000 for a full set of Warbound gear that is item level 584 and on the veteran track. That will let you immediately get a fresh alt game ready. That being said, you will want 82,000 of this Flame Blessed Iron if you want every single piece of transmog and the really sick hoverboard mount. The best way to do this is just to repeat everything here on as many alts as you can, because the weekly quests, excavations, and daily rare sweeps are, I would say, the only good sources, though just regularly killing mobs will of course get you some of the iron. Now that does seem like an extremely daunting task. The good news is, the individual bits of transmog gear are actually really cheap. That large number is a testament more to how many options Blizzard have given you, just how much stuff there is to earn, rather than it being an extremely punishing, horrible thing to get any item. So you will feel quite rewarded. Also, if you're just starting off a character, you will be swimming in weathered and carved crests, and a handful of Valor Stones for doing just about anything on the Isle. If you're a world content only player, this will be a decent source of progress for you, and it also matches a new change where crests are actually uncapped, so you can just keep on getting those weathered crests and then transforming them into the carved ones. It's kind of neat. And of course, the anniversary event is going on throughout most of this, and that means that those weeklies will also give you bronze tokens. So just by doing this patch's content, you'll probably be able to unlock, well, to be honest with you, most of the Tier 2 remakes, which is pretty sweet. So to help you keep on track, because I know this is a lot, here's the simple checklist. The most important thing every week is your new ring upgrade quest. Those happen on a weekly basis, and you'll also get the occasional quest to unlock some new Cirtines, but sadly, we have very little info on those because Blizzard kept secrets in the PTR. On a weekly basis, you'll also then get the Wrapper quest, which is best done by just doing the other weeklies, the excavations, and of course the quests. Now, I know that this seems like a barrage of weeklies, but Blizzard's point basically is you shouldn't feel like you need to log in every single day as a chore. It's basically designed so if you want to chill out on a Saturday and just knock out the Isle in one big play session, you can do that. There are a few things that are daily, and that's basically just rare mobs. Those reset daily as normal. And then there's the one other thing, the Snapdragon Pet. That will need fed once a day for a total of 10 days to unlock it, but otherwise, it's all weeklies. Once your weeklies are ticked off, you've then got two choices. You can go and do something else, as an example, the other patch quests, or everything to go and earn Thralnir, the really cool new Stormcrow mount. Or, if you just need more iron, you can do a lot of that content again on alts. And the good news is, we'll have another video up real soon on what else there is to do in this patch, but for now, go and check out our breakdown of how Blizzard absolutely popped off with the storytelling of this patch. And a special thanks to our sponsor, War Thunder. It's free to play in PC, Xbox, PS5, iOS, and Android. Now's the perfect time to give it a shot, and if you're new or just haven't been back in 6 months, hop on PC or console to claim a massive free bonus pack using my link.